Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. And we're at what used to be known as the Maze Prison or Longcouch. And of course, that area there just beyond the fence, the far fence there, was all part of the Maze Prison, where a lot of political prisoners would have been kept during the Northern Ireland Troubles. But this area also of Longcouch has a big connection with the D-Day landings, and of course in there today now you have the Aviation Society, which is a museum, and you also have the Air Ambulance as well in there, the Northern Ireland Air Ambulance as well. But that area there has a big connection with the D-Day landings, and there's a wee bit of information here which I'm going to show you. And this wee estate here is actually called Coronation Gardens, but it's in the BLARIS area. If you know the BLARIS area with all the shops, for instance, you've got Marks and Spencer's and all the different shops. So it's in that area there, just on the outskirts of Lisburn. And there's the board there which mentions the D-Day landings. It says RAF Longcouch, and it says RAF Longcouch was a Royal Air Force station at Maze, Lisburn, Northern Ireland from 1941 until 1971. And the connection here is with the gliders, because gliders were also used for the D-Day landings. And here's what it says concerning the glider pilots. It says that the glider pilots needed exceptional training for the job they were going to do, and Longcouch was one of the destinations used by the Air Force for training those who were to be glider pilots at D-Day. And so the Longcouch area here was actually used to train the D-Day pilots, the glider pilots. And I'm going to show you a few wee photos here. That photo there is of King George VI inspecting the Guard of Honour outside one of the hangars at Halftown Road. And there's another wee picture there of an airplane, and it says Beaufort aircraft at Longcouch, one of many used by number 5 OTU. And then there we have King George VI and the Queen Mother on a visit to Longcouch airfield. And so there's a wee map as well. I'll show you an aerial photograph of Longcouch on the 20th of July 1942. And it's quite a substantial area, so it is. And it's still being used today, as I say, for the Air Ambulance and also the Aviation Society. And I've been in the Aviation Society, the museum, and they've done a good job to the have. And there's another billboard there that says the old Kilcavey Viaduct. Of course, there used to be a viaduct just down the road a wee bit, and the trains used to go across it, as you can see. And this area also has a connection with William III, because the troops actually were camped in the BLARIS MOOR area. And there's two trails that are fantastic to follow. One is the Williamite Trail and the other is the St Patrick's Trail. And there's a wee map there of the Williamite Trail. And I've been to a lot of those places. I haven't been to them all, but I've been to a lot of them. And certainly I enjoy doing the Williamite Trail as well as the St Patrick's Trail. And there's a good bit of history in both trails. But I'm going to read this wee bit out to you. It's about King William's thorn. And there you can see an image of King William. But I'm going to I'll not read it all to you, but I'll read a good part of it because it's very interesting. It says King William's thorn. The Williamite forces, having marched in excess of 9 miles, were now at the banks of the Lagan on their right for the third time, and it was here that the bugles sounded and the entire army was brought to a halt. All ranks were dismissed and availed of the adjacent river to refresh themselves. However, the cavalry who had marched at the rear availed of a stream running along the valley from Ravornit to where it met the Lagan. And of course I did a wee video at the Ravornit River. Men and their animals enjoyed well-earned rest, and these lands were to be later known as Troopers' Field. And again, I done a wee video at Troopers' Field. And whilst the majority of the forces were to march on, the rear guard were to set up camp in this area for a considerable length of time, as this was to be a strategic position as cover for the advancing army. The position preserved and kept open a line of communication with Belfast from where supplies would have been sourced had there been any serious interruption to the progress of the royal forces. The infantry were posted to BLARIS, and their position was examined by His Majesty, who during his hasty survey of his troops was to dismount his horse, which he tied to a thorn bush, which has since been known as King William's thorn. And so BLARIS MOOR has a connection then with King William III. And so I hope you've enjoyed our wee tour today of Longcush and BLARIS. And if you enjoy the channel, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless.